Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Wednesday, July 31st, 2024, and what a beautiful day it is here in the Macedon Ranges here in Victoria. Beautiful morning, a bit chilly, a bit icy. Neil's not overly happy this morning. Sure you can probably see him there. Probably cold feet, but he wanted to come for a walk. So here we are. It's been a long one this morning too, by the way, because he's taken his time. He's caught up with a few friends along the way, and they've wanted to do the things that dogs do to each other. But anyway, so we had, first of all, let's get on to the Olympics. We had another 3 fighters on last night. All 3 eliminated, unfortunately. Look, I haven't seen the fights that were on overnight just yet because obviously they were on during the night, and got up this morning and went for the walk straight away. But the one I did see was Yusuf Chothia. He was on last night against Rafael Lozano Serrano. Lost a 4-1 decision. No disgrace there. I thought Chothia fought very, very well. Look, I don't think it was a robbery or anything like that. But look, you know, it was a 4-1 decision. You probably could have made an argument that he might have got the decision, but no, I thought that the right call was made. But yeah, tough boy, Chothia. I think he's got a little bit, or he has got a future in the sport. Whether he wants to hang around for the Commonwealth Games or the Olympics, whatever it might be, or maybe turn pro. But good performance by him. And then this is the one I'm looking forward to actually watching. Callum Peters went down to Nurbek Oralbay from Kazakhstan. So I got a feel for Callum. He was a little bit unlucky at the Commonwealth Games as well, and now this. So a lot of commentary on social media about it. So again, I'm looking forward to getting home and watching that one. Not much has changed in Olympic boxing, I can tell you by the sounds of things. And then that was actually in the men's 80 kilo division. The other one was the Yusuf Chothia was in the men's 51 kilo division. And then in the women's 54 kilo division, Tiana, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this. I did try the other day when I was watching some clips of her. Ekegare, is that how you pronounce it? She lost 5-0 to Hatis Agbas from Turkey. So yeah, not a great night for the Aussies. We've got a couple on tonight. We've got in the men's 71 kilo division, we have, who we got there? Shannon Davey. He's up against Rami Mulford Kiwan from, where's he from? Sorry, it's just vanished from, oh, there it is there. Good, hang on. No, there it is there. All right, so he is from Bulgaria. So that's on tonight at 7:30. Caitlin Parker, the team captain, she's up against, what's this one? Citlali Vanessa Vortiz of Italy. She's on at 8 o'clock tonight. And then we have Charlie Senior, good little fighter he is too, 57 kilo division. He's up against Vasily Usturoy from Belgium. And that's on at about 11:45 tonight. So, yeah, as I said, a disappointing night, and what's that, 6 fighters now, 5 are out. Teramona is coming up against the world champion and a pretty established pro as well next, so it's going to be tough for him. And it just poses the question, you know, I had a phone call yesterday from Robbie Bomber Peden, the captain of our 1996 Olympic team, and I've got to actually clarify that he wasn't the sole captain. I was reminded by Justin Crawford that Justin and Rick Temperi were actually the co-captains at the 96 Olympic Games. I can't remember. I probably didn't even get a vote. I was inexperienced at the time and was probably just put on and just told to sit down and shut up. I can't remember. But Bomber, he didn't even know the Olympics are on. Didn't even know the Olympics were on. And this is a guy that's actually pretty good friends with Harry Garside. And if you know Bomber, you'll understand that that's just the way he rolls. He runs his own race. He's his own man. And he just didn't know the Olympics are on. And I mean, in my opinion, one of the best amateur boxers we've ever had. And of course, he won the IBF 130-pound title in the pros as well. But I had a good talk to him, and He did actually ring me to remind me that it's almost 30 years, or the 30-year anniversary of him winning the gold medal at the 1994 Commonwealth Games in Vancouver. Geez, I remember that like it was yesterday. It's been 30 years, just crazy. But it's interesting that that it's been that long, and I found it a bit strange that no one's even sort of reached out to guys like Bomber, you know, one of our best amateurs ever, and no one even has bothered to, you know, in the media I'm talking about, has asked his opinion on the team or whatever. But anyway, that's life, isn't it? But he did again remind me that that Commonwealth Games gold medal was the catalyst for the funding and everything that, the grants and the RIS program and everything that followed. Apparently it was because of that gold medal, and it probably gave the powers that be a little bit of belief that we could, you know, we had some good boxers here in Australia and they could do the job. And I mean, you look back at it, I don't think they just needed that gold medal, by the way, to realise the talent we had, because before that, the 92 Barcelona team, what a team that was. There was a Bomber in that. That was his first Olympics. Croft was there as well. Rick Temperi, who followed up in the 96 Atlanta Games. But you know, Jamie Nicholson, Justin Rousel. I can't really remember who else. Stephen Scriggins. What a team that was. And I'm actually, in hindsight, really surprised they didn't actually do better than what they did. But these are guys that didn't have the AIS, and they didn't have the funding and the grants and the sponsorship and all that a lot of the fighters these days, or even the competition that they get these days, and the training camps and all that sort of stuff, and the high performance managers, they never had any of that. And in my opinion, still the best team. And of course I'm saying that even though I went to 96 in Atlanta, I think the 92 Olympic team was probably the best I've seen. And as I said, I was surprised they didn't quite get the results, but I also have to wonder how the results might have been if they did have all the funding and the grants and sponsorship and the training camps and the high performance managers. So it is what it is, I suppose. But it was great to talk to Bomber. It's probably been a few months since I've spoken to him, and he hasn't changed. He's an awesome guy. Doesn't sort of take himself too seriously, but this is a guy who's seriously one of the best fighters that this country has produced, amateur and professional. But it's interesting, I had a little bit of a chat to him about it, why we don't see guys or fighters like him and Crawford and Jeff Horn and Daniel Gill. And I know we had Jamie Pittman as part of the team. He was obviously an Olympian, fought for world titles as a pro. But I just don't understand why we don't see more of the elite fighters from years gone by involved in these programs. Well, I think I do know. There's a lot of politics involved, and a lot of the fighters, and I was sort of briefly involved for a little bit, but yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work beating the powers that be sometimes, and as I said, there's a lot of politics involved. So I can probably understand why they just can't be bothered with the aggravation, to be honest. But I can't help but think how much better our team would be. And I'm not necessarily even talking about being the coach or coaches. You know, I mean, lots changed over the years, and I suppose just like all the sporting codes, there's different things that play these days that maybe us as boxers from yesteryear might not be able to get our heads around. But imagine having those guys in camp and coming in as consultants and just taking some sessions and running some drills and telling stories and getting the morale up. And that's one thing I have struggled to get my head around, is that I'm not quite sure what it's like in other countries, by the way. Maybe it's the same, but I just know as a boxer, when I was fighting, you've either had the Jeff Fennicks and Lester Ellis's and Barry Michaels and those types of guys around, how much taller I would have walked. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents anyway. But it was great to talk to Bomber, and yeah, he's doing well, which is good. A couple other things on the agenda. Actually, just before I move on to those, one thing I didn't really like to see yesterday, I saw an article where they had transgender boxers fighting female fighters. I don't care your political stance or whatever the stances. There's so many stances these days, isn't there? So many genders, stances, movements, whatever it might be. But I don't have an issue at all with what people want to identify as. Hey, it's your life. As long as you're happy, I couldn't care less. If you want to identify as a mailbox or a lampshade or whatever it might be, that's up to you. I couldn't care less. And if you do want to identify, of course, as a woman, then that's great. But just because you identify as something doesn't mean it makes it so. And even though you might identify as a woman, you are still a biological woman, and you should not be in the ring with a biological female. Look, we're talking about genetics, and I'm not a scientist or whatever it might be, but I do know what a male and a female is. So I think it's all based on chromosomes, whatever it is, but I do know that a male, a biological male in the ring, punching a biological female is not good no matter how you spin it. And especially, I mean, in a sport, even you think a sport like MMA, where you actually can get your hands on them and, you know, fold them in half and break limbs and whatever else they do, I don't know. But I just know in boxing, to be able to be punching a female, it's just some horrific damage could be done. So again, I'll say it, I'm not getting political about the whole thing. I don't care what the hell you identify as. If you want to identify as a woman, then peace, good luck to you. But the powers that be should draw the line and say, absolutely not will we allow in any competition or whatever it might be, a biological male to be fighting a biological female. I just don't like it. Now, just quickly, a couple of things. The No Limit card has been finalised. Now, I have touched on it in the last couple of days. I get that. But the last two fights have been added to the card. And again, I think it rounds it off very, very nicely. So, of course, we've got Nikita and Colin Mazzutia. We've got Zarafa, Tommy Brown. We've got Connor Wallace and Jerome Pampaloni. Interesting too, so I didn't say it the other day, that Connor Wallace is a Tasman Fighters fighter. I don't know what he's doing on a No Limit card. Maybe they've talked it out. I don't know. Very, very strange to me. And I did say Jazzy Parr, Amber Amelia, which is a great little female fight. But the last two fights to round out the card, we have Darren Gara Truella, really good young prospect. He's against Calvin Jensen. And the one that I'm really looking forward to, probably more than anything, Brendan Grush up against Jackson Murray. Now, Jackson Murray's got some ability. Probably a little bit flash for me, but he goes okay. Good. He's got a personality and all that sort of stuff, which is great. But Brendan Grush, one of my favourite Aussie fighters. He goes really, really well. Brendan, he might take one or two to land one, but geez, just entertainment value. He's worth the money alone, I think, and I think he can do some big things here in Australia. Hey, who knows? Maybe we might get Brendan Grush and Justice Hooney down the track. I don't know, but I love him. Just comes to fight. He can punch. He's tough. So that should round out the card very, very nicely. And again, I'll say it does remind me a lot of a UFC card where it's not just one fight or the main fight. The whole card is solid from top to bottom. So I like it. And one last thing, I did see that Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda are in talks for a fight at the end of the year, which I think is awesome. Yes, we'd probably rather see Tank Davis against Shakur, or Tank Davis and William Zepeda. But not quite sure what's happening with the Tank situation. But in this instance, looks like Shakur and Zepeda is in play, and I think it is a great fight to make. And credit to both guys for actually wanting to put the fight on. So it'll probably be a little bit spicy too, considering that Oscar De La Hoya and Shakur Stevenson now have a little bit of beef, and of course Oscar is the promoter for Zepeda. So look, that's about it for today, guys. What a day. Again, a beautiful day. Hope you have a good one, and we'll catch you tomorrow.